The following sermon was preached by Bernardine of Sienna sometime between 1380 and 1444. Love justice, you that are the judges of the earth. What is justice? Justice consists in looking at me. Have you understood? Look at me. Justice may be conceived of in many and varied ways, but among others, justice is constancy in the intention to be always just. Oh, you there at the fountain who are selling your wares, go and do so elsewhere. Go on. Do you not hear me? Oh, you, but there by the fountain, home again. I say that justice consists in a constant and unceasing good intention. That, as you know, it does not waver, but is ever stable, and that through it each has rendered unto him that which is his, and that which befits him. That is, to the wicked is rendered punishment, and to the good rewards, to the just favor, and to the guilty terror, to the good peace, and to the wicked war. Let him learn this morning who wishes to have those offices in which the men of this world are judged. Lo, I wish to tell you an example which happened in the court of the King of France, or of the King of Spain. Well, he had an ape and a bear, and he kept them for his amusement. It happened that the ape having young, the bear killed one little ape and devoured it. The ape, seeing what had been done, it seemed as if she were crying out for justice, for she took herself to almost all those of the household. She turned now to one side and now to the other about each one of those whom she saw, and seeing that she was not understood, one day she broke her chain and went to that place wherein was the bear, for it seemed as if she said, since no one executes justice in respect of the crime of this bear, I myself will execute it. In that place where was the bear, there was much hay, and this ape took some of the hay and collected it together around and about the bear. In some, she put fire to it and burned the bear, and in this manner herself executed justice. Do you see that the beasts endeavor in every way that justice be executed, and render that which is merited according to the deed which the other performed? And by this you see that nature dictates it to you. There are 4 occasions of wrongdoing which may bring destruction upon any great city. The first is hate, the second is love, the third is fear, and the fourth is hope. These make a man to judge wrongly. He who hates within him turns away those to whom he wishes not well. He who loves advances those of his own house. He who fears acts always out of fear when he sees one of those whom he fears. He who hopes endeavors to raise aloft him from whom he may have something that shall be useful to him. And therefore he sends forward him who he loves, and sends him behind whom he hates, sends him forward in whom he has hope, and him behind whom he fears. It seems to him always that the thing is in size double that which in truth it is. One seems to him as two. That is to say, he sees not as a whole, but his vision is divided in two. Do you wish that I show you an example of what condition is his vision? Hist! I would explain so that I may be understood. Women, if you have a spindle, not too large, or a paternoster, one of those which are very large, put your middle finger upon the spindle, and your next finger to this also upon the paternoster, and you shall see that they will seem each one of them two. Now make a trial of it quickly, that I may see you do so for a little. And do you know what this signifies? Oh, that one is too small. It will not serve. It signifies that what is greater dominates the smaller because this is less powerful. So it seems to him, when he has performed one thing, it seems to him two. In a like manner, if he speaks a thing, good or evil, it seems to him two. Again, do you know how he does this? You have heard that when one says a word aloud, it seems that the same word is repeated opposite to him. Do you know how it sometimes happens to me by chance in my preaching? While I am saying a word, it rebounds from over there among those palaces, and it seems two words, as befalls here in our piazza, where if a word is spoken aloud, straightway it is repeated in answer to you from here, opposite, especially before sunrise. If you wish to see if I speak the truth, to anyone who may be here in that pulpit of stone, each single word seems two. And there is greater reverberations before the sun rises than afterwards. If you say, Antony, you are answered, Antony, Antony, Antony. It seems to you two and is one. So it seems to him, for one seems to him too, because he has not justice within him. I hear you have made it a law that no usurer shall enter any office. I praise you, therefore, because you have done well indeed. But I say to you, what manner of man shall he be that goes to this office? You have done well to provide that no usurer shall go there. But who will go then, since we are all usurers? And who is he who is not a usurer, or who does not favor usury? I know of no such man as this. One way there is. Mary, let us send forth the women. But yet there are women who incline to usury and encourage it. So therefore it is not fitting that even they should go there. Wow! Let's send out those folks who are out there begging for help. They'd be perfect for the job since they're already in need. You ever notice what goes down when a money grubber steps into an office? It's like a wolf trying to clean out its insides. Once the money grubber gets appointed, the eagerness to get into the office is so intense that time feels like it's dragging on forever. It's all just to get in there and take from one person here and snatch from another person there, just like the wolf, after getting too full, heads to a sandy spot to purge, only to fill up again and then some. Oh, listen, I've got a tale from a friar who witnessed something wild. There was a wolf that took down a wild boar near where the friars lived. After killing it, the wolf left it there and went to the river, filling up on sand to clean out its belly. The friar, catching wind of this, decided to swoop in and grab the boar. Not long after, they watched what happened next. The wolf came back and couldn't find the boar. Can you guess what went down? Fueled by rage, the wolf slammed its head on the ground so hard that it dropped dead. Now, here is the gist. You ever noticed how these greedy folks behave when they snag a position? They start asking, how much did that guy make from this gig? They answer, 200 florins. No kidding. Well, I'm sure I can pull in 300 without breaking a sweat. And off he goes to the office, fueled by that sinister plan. You know how he struts in there with his banner flying high, rushing in with all the haste and the banner unfurled. Oh, the immense harm done, often due to a lack of thoughtful consideration. There are those who, in pursuit of these offices, ditch their shops, their crafts. This leads to a decline in the city's trades and crafts. As they abandon their professions to go plunder, the city suffers significant damage, not just economically, but also as they venture beyond the walls to rob and pillage the countryside, leaving the poor in their wake. Men like these can be compared to cats. Just as a cat positions itself in front of a tiny hole, patiently waiting for the mouse to emerge and pouncing on it at the opportune moment, so does the money grubber aiming for an office. When the news of an office drawing circulates, he spares no effort to manipulate the ballots. He goes from one friend to another, pleading for support, saying, "Dear sir, there's an office up for grabs. I implore you to help me with your vote." This plea echoes from friend to friend within the council. Oh, you unfortunate soul! How do you expect to fare well by abandoning your shop, chasing after this one and that one? Even if you secure the office, what then? You spend 6 months in it, followed by a year or more without any official position. During this office-free period, you deplete what you have, when instead you could have earned by practicing your trade or craft. So if your plan involves manipulating names in the urns, in my opinion, you've strategized admirably. Ensure you entrust the responsibility to only good and capable individuals, those who genuinely deserve it. If you aim to uphold the city and its surroundings, don't appoint any scoundrels. The rogue may claim, "Oh, there's no chance for me." To that, I say it's truly commendable when the well-being of the Republic takes precedent over individual interests. It is far better to act for the good of the community than solely for the benefit of one person. The first venom is tyranny, as there are often officers who in their self-esteem appear proud and haughty, but are in reality extortionists and oppressive tyrants. They could be termed yearly exactors, monthly exactors, weekly exactors, daily exactors, morning exactors, evening exactors, twice daily exactors, or even hourly exactors. Have you encountered the yearly exactor? This individual oppresses by demanding money annually. The monthly exactor is far worse, extracting it every month. The weekly exactor is even more severe, collecting it weekly. The daily extractor is worse yet, snatching and extorting each day. The morning exactor is even more insidious, extracting every morning on duty. Similarly, the evening extractor. But what about the hourly exactor? This person perpetually exacts, oppresses, and extorts from anyone within their grasp. Do you aspire to be called a rector? That title doesn't suit you, for you're truly not a rector. Remove the first E and the C and replace them with an A and a P, and your name truly emerges, not rector, but raptor, with talons resembling the teeth of a rake. To identify those unworthy of office, examine their talons. If they are hooked like a kite or goshawk, beware, as they belong to the category of voracious officials. Also, ensure their mouths don't curve downward, like birds with downward curving beaks that don't drink water. Such beaks suggest they don't drink water, but tear open the skin to suck blood. And these birds lay few eggs, unlike our hens with straight claws and beaks, which may lay many eggs in abundance. Do you know what a rector truly means? One who lays many good eggs. On the contrary, the raptor does nothing but plunder, devour, and despoil. Listen up. If you want to identify those who shouldn't be rectors and whom you'd be wise to get rid of, pay attention. When you encounter an official who endlessly drags out a case without reaching a conclusion and consistently exploits both sides, these individuals are not fit for office whatsoever. I've been in a situation where this system prevails. The rector demands a cut for every lira and every florin, fleecing both the poor and the rich. Notice this prolonged delay. It's a form of devouring. Did you know that there are those who wish disputes and complaints never come to an end? When an appeal is made to a governor, he first demands a fee from the party who should receive money, and it's always paid. Additionally, the one expecting payment also gives a portion for every lira. Once this transaction is completed, the governor considers it a worthy action, departs with a satisfied demeanor, and perhaps even a song. The one awaiting payment ends up with nothing and spends their time moving from office to office. Thus, the amount is drained for both parties because every official operates with the same indifferent attitude. One official leaves, another takes their place, receives their fee, exits the office, and the person remains unpaid. Consequently, justice is never served in this manner. Do not be arrogant. Do you hold an office? Yes? But don't hold your head so high you might bump into something. If you take a moment to observe someone with an office, you'll notice they carry a significant burden. Isn't it clear, for instance, that someone bearing a heavy load must walk with a stoop? Think of porters. When carrying a sack of wheat, they walk a bit stooped, and the heavier the load, the more they lean forward. Remember how you walk stooped at Michaelmas when moving heavy coffers? So what's my point? I'm saying that being a rector is a hefty responsibility. Don't be like those I've seen who, when in office, lounge with their legs stretched out and their feet crossed, standing proudly with their cap perched high on their head. They refuse to bend even a little. If they had to enter a door unwilling to stoop, their cap would be knocked off. Be humble. Enough. Don't hold your head so high. Stoop a little, lest you collide with the door lintel. Don't succumb to negligence, O officer. Let hunting dogs, falcons, bird snares, nets, and hawks pass by, and dismiss the idle wandering for your amusement. Stay among them to prevent dissipation. Keep them restrained out of fear, so they refrain from wrongdoing while you're around. Don't let the sheep wander far from you. If you allow it, they'll come to harm. How much of this pertains to those overseeing souls? They should always be among their people, advising, pleading, and warning them as needed. The fifth poison is ignorance. Don't appoint someone to an office if they don't know how to fulfill it. They're not deserving, merely a cipher. What is the value of a cipher, O mathematician? In itself, nothing. A cipher gains significance only with company. Place a cipher next to one and it becomes 10. Add another and it turns into 100. If you hold an office and are a cipher, you'll achieve nothing. If you find yourself in such a situation, get a companion, and then you'll have some impact. Consider this example. Something women should also take note of. Have you ever observed when melon seeds, or better yet, grains are sown? Or when figs ripen, scarecrows are set up? In the wheat field, they use a sack filled with straw to keep the crows away. On this sack, they place a gourd to resemble a man's head, add arms, and put a bent bow in his hand as if he's shooting at the crows. Clever crows fly here and there, seeing this figure, fearing that they might be attacked, so they wait all day without pecking. The next day they return, find the figure in the same posture, and wait until evening without daring to peck. Again, driven by their desire to peck, they return the next morning, finding the figure in the same motionless state. As they cautiously approach, sometimes a gust of wind scares them away. When they see movement, they all fly away in fear. Once assured that he won't move, they return, eat, and get closer than before. Occasionally, one bolder than the rest might even perch on his head. Now comes the point. Do you know what I mean to say? I mean to say that often a rector acts in a like manner, who enters that office to which he has been elected, and he is not fitted for it, since he is a cipher. He proclaims the mandate that no one shall blaspheme God, that you must not go abroad at night, that you must game not for money, that you must not bear arms, that you must not speak any manner of abuse to one another. And thus, when the mandate has been proclaimed, they go on making a search by day and by night with his bailiffs, and often he finds one who goes abroad at night and one who blasphemes God. He will be led to the magistrate to make him pay the penalty. Straightway, someone will come to the rector. "Oh, sire, I beg and pray a boon of you. You have such a one who has been found abroad at night. I pray you to pardon him for my love." "Oh," says the rector, "the statutes declare so and so. What Did he not hear the proclamation? Does he not know our customs? The other says, "Oh, it is a custom to proclaim the mandate, and so it is also a custom to grant such pardons." He scarce knows how to deny this, so he sets him at liberty. So it is in the case of one who blasphemes, and in like manner of one who stirs up a quarrel, and thus, by little and little, he permits himself to judge, according to the prayers of him whom desires the pardon. This has been a Sermon Project production. Original material by Peter Kennedy. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved. We facilitate very generous usage permissions, so please let us know your requirements. If you like this type of content and want more of it, please consider partnering with us. In Canada, the Sermon Project is fully charitable, and all donations receive a tax-deductible receipt. If you're outside Canada, we would still love for you to partner with us too, but unfortunately we cannot offer a tax receipt. For more information and donation links, go to sermonproject.com.